Some people have changes in their personality. You mentioned that, and changes in the way they think and handle complex information. Do you remember having, like, would you say you've had a change in your personality, or do you feel that you're the same Nick as you were before?
In general, I'm the same type, but I'm not, obviously not the same Nick, because I think that's a lot more of my experiences now. And now I have a view of I have a different view of the world now, so it's, I guess maybe cynical, but I'm not cynical. It's just more realistic, as in, I mean, just kind of, as it happens, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, frankly, I mean, life's not always going to be great. I mean, just because you see it on movies or stuff. I mean, I was watching this show last night, Friday Night Lights, and there was one, the lady, a teacher, a counselor was talking to a student who was raised in a foster home and wasn't being fed well and stuff. So she's like, well, you shouldn't be living like this, but really, and this is the wrong way to live, and that's what was the point. It's the wrong way to do it, and it is. But I mean, life is not gonna be all the time awesome for everyone. I mean, it is. I mean, life is awesome, but I mean, you can't always just assume that everything's gonna work out great and that's everything should work out perfectly, because it'd be great if it did, ideally, but I mean, it's probably not gonna happen, and just so it doesn't mean it's bad, just means it's the way it is. I mean, that's just, I find that doesn't make much sense, but there's much ability for people to like accept something that's not, they don't accept them, they want something some way, didn't happen that exact way, they get mad, but even though what happened was actually still good, they don't say, oh, that was good. It was more like, oh, it should have been done this way. Well, you know, hey, there are other people in the world too that, you know, so I don't know if that answer much of your question, but frankly, no, not much of personality change. I've still kept in good contact. I mean, so my friends are still the same, and they still treat me the same, and I wouldn't want it any other way, really. Yeah.
Nick, in your blog and in your search for references about site dealing with prevention of head injury, looking after head injury, how many of those sites, and what strikes me, there are so many people, groups involved in head injury, whether prevention or rehabilitation, and they are all working in the same area, let's say. I tell you, I'm a Think First Foundation guy.
Yeah.
And also I'm associated, of course, with the Head Injury Association here. Yeah. There are so many groups.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to ask you an embarrassing question, how many groups there are of those people. And my question is, do you think that we can pile all our resources together, and rather than be regimented like a society of this, society of that, we get together for the benefit of this province?
Yeah.
We've done something regarding sports in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, you know, incrementation of helmets and hockey and so forth. But we should maybe get together, all of us, all those who are involved in this, and then formulate something which goes in a general, have a voice in the province itself. What do you think about that?
I think, I mean, the way it's set now, it's obviously for a bigger population, so, I mean, and there's so many populations you can find people that talk with their specific area of brain injury, only that, and that's, and you need a bunch of money or a bunch of direction towards that, but in this province, we're so small that, I mean, why not just put it, I mean, brain injury is a brain injury, I mean, they're all slightly different. I have a severe brain injury. If you want to name, I have a severe injury, and about, you know, comas. I don't know if you'll talk about comas, but Glasgow scale 3, and which is, that's bad. And anyway, so I mean, so I experienced some things that my brain injury, a severe brain injury, but I experienced some things, but I luckily didn't experience what could have been as bad things I could have experienced, which was some people have had severe brain injuries and can't even really move, like, so it's that's but then again, there are people who've had concussions who deal with really hard fatigue and headaches all the time. I don't deal with that. I mean, I've had a severe brain injury. My brain injury is a lot harder than a lot of concussions, but I haven't had much an issue with headaches or, I mean, fatigue is an issue that everyone in brain injury has. But I mean, there's just these, I guess, more. If you could find out these more into issues, not towards types of, like a lot of brain injury stuff seems to be broken up into types of brain injuries, and there's this type, and when it goes towards that, or there's different, like sports is one category, then like, you know, just general strokes in that category, and for because I don't know, I'm pretty young around here, but if you have like, so strokes is one, sports another, and then I mean a problem this size just putting together as one, because you need the money to research brain injury. Anyway, that's aside basically, because what I was saying was that, yeah, I mean, I don't even know, I remember what I was saying. So this is, yeah, so I mean, yeah, so I haven't had like headaches or bad fatigue or all the issues that people who had concussions have had. I haven't had it, but I've had a lot of issues, like my double vision hasn't happened to everyone who's had a brain injury. It's not a universal condition, but it's something that I've had and I've dealt with, and people obviously can't understand that as much because they don't have it, right? And I can't understand like how bad these headaches are because I haven't had them. So I mean, there are actually different areas there. I think more effort should concentrate on the areas of the symptoms of brain injury, not necessarily the actual brain injury itself. If that makes sense.
Nick, I would like for you to comment on an issue rather than addressing a question.
Yeah.
Since we're on our voyage, my wife and I, with a brain injury, we've met many people right across the country.
Yeah.
And in our conversation with people in the literature, it talks about the importance of support.
Yeah.
You're very fortunate. You have the support, the unrelenting support of a loving family. In our experience, that's not always the case.
No.
So I'd just like for you to briefly comment on how important is support. Support from your family, support from your friends, and support that we try to offer in the Brain Injury Association.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, support, obviously, I mean, family and friends, I think the most important parts of the support you can get. I mean, your friends get just even knowing to support you is in giving money, helping you, driving you somewhere, but just being your friends, just being that they were before the injury. And your family is obviously hugely supportive, but support from me, I mean, my therapist, my rehab and physio, OT, speech, recreational, psychology. Hope I'm not missing anyone. They were all, I mean, I'm described how incredible they all were. And that is essential. I mean, just that type of support, though. Even for a lot of people, like I said, like a lot of people, they deal with, and they're not able to get around and be as mobile as I am now. So things like recreational therapy, where they can just get out and in society and meet people, and I mean that's really important. I mean, they just being able to get out and see a movie or go for lunch or whatever, and just to get out and not feel like you're limited as much as you feel like you are. And again, I mean, for those people, I can't speak to, I mean, nurses have been great to me, obviously, but I mean, I can't speak to home support nurses or like that because I haven't needed one because my parents are incredible. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously, I mean, for people who need it, that's, I think, an essential part of getting back into society. If they don't have to worry about going home, or they don't have to worry about every day taking care of themselves, so they can at least they can spend more time concentrating on, or have energy, which is an important thing, energy concentrating on meeting people or writing things or talking or reading or whatever they want to do. They spend more time on that than on taking care of themselves. If that's their whole day, is just taking care of themselves, then what's the point, really, of using all energy just to take care of yourself if you're not gonna do anything with it.
Hi, I just wanted to make a comment, not so much a question, but we came here today, my friend and I were nurses with Canada Pension Disability. And the reason we came, obviously, was number one was our association now warrants that we do continuing education. And this particular lecture would be used towards that. But the other part that we found interesting would be that because of our job now, we did like 25 years of hands-on nursing, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But my career brought me to a desk job and not being with people. Excuse me if I'm a little bit. But I find from your talk, and the whole thing is that people view you a certain way. And we as society need to change that. Because if you're walking, like you said before, they thought you were drunk when you were younger. And now they think you're maybe this or that, you have something wrong. But you're still a person. And I can have anything with me. And what we've learned in our job is that all barriers people have can easily, if we try to be overcome by just being a little bit more tolerant. Because when I walk the street, I feel that the lines are not there enough for me to see that it's a clear crosswalk. So somebody is going to even stop to give you the time. And people are not even as tolerant to stop enough to give you enough time for me to cross the street, and I can run, let alone for yourself to have to take a bit extra time. And I think in our job we've realized that when we talk to families and to persons with whatever, disabilities they have and limitations they have, that it's made us, I'm certainly myself and our colleagues, aware that it's those little things that are more important, to take the time to listen. That is not the big issue of you've had your surgery and you've had your, whatever, but like you say with your double vision, that impacts you so much that it takes longer for you to read something.
It does,
Or when you're at the cash and you want to get your money, and is it a 5 or a 10, for someone to be tolerant to you to wait for that, or for your groceries to take them from the shelf and not have to butt you out of the way because he's too slow. And in society in general, I find that we've become too fast anyway, let alone to be tolerant to somebody like yourself. And I'm really happy that I came today because it reinforces that.
Thank you.
I think one more question for me. Okay. I think what was brought out is the help that you need, and you had your family. We see that, and I'm sure all the nurses and all the rehab centers, all the people involved with the traumatized brain, realize that if you have a family which are not together, disjuncted family, horrible catastrophe is going to happen in the rehabilitation process. This is a must, that the family is the basis of the rehabilitation and the support. We see that so often, and then if the family is not working together, we are in bad trouble. And we see that quite often. So this is a number one, I think, in the rehab, is the backup from the DNA.
I should like to go on record and thank Tara Barbary, who is, and I don't even know if she's here, I haven't met her physically, but she's done a great job with her band next door in Togram. And I talked to her on Wednesday, she her yesterday, just for supporting this and advocating for this. So thank you, Tara.